Hey everyone, this is Charlie Dobbins. I'm here to take you on another tour of the Multifamily Investing Academy's offer writing workshop. And today we're going to be doing a smaller property. This one is, I believe, like a 14-unit deal in Roanoke, Virginia. And I'm going to show you exactly, let's see what that, let's see how that does it. Okay. So this is actually an easy one. Okay, let me figure out what's going on here. I think we're good. This is an older property, Roanoke, Virginia. It's about 14 units, historic old Southwest apartment building. I'm going to take you through the whole entire process, and then I'm going to draft the letter of intent and show you how to send it off to all the brokers. But let's take a look at it first. So here's the property. It's a nice older brick property, you know, one of those things that you find in a neighborhood. I mean, just look at it. It's a 3-story. Actually, it's more like a, you know, you've got some dormers up there, so there might be something up on the 3rd floor. The first floor, as I'm calling it, is actually more like a basement. It's probably got some apartments down there. It's probably got a laundry room down there. I mean, for crying out loud, we've all seen these properties. We drive by them every day. We know, you know, these are the types of properties that you can easily start your multifamily investing career business with. Remember what I say. If you want to own 1,000 apartment units in 5 years, you start today with 20 units. And this is a great property to get started with. You know, it's obviously, I know many of you are looking at that street sign. The last thing you want to be thinking is that this is the nightmare on Elm Street. Well, if you buy it the wrong way, this could become the nightmare on Elm Street. But look at it. Look, you know, it's got a nice new roof. I think, you know, it's easy to landscape, easy to maintain. I like this property. So let's see exactly what the broker's offering here. All right, Walled Vogel Commercial Properties. Okay, let me just stop right here because I get this information. I get this from people all the time. I can't find any good properties. Where should I be looking? How should I be finding them? I said, you know what? Don't be looking at all of the big retail places like the Marcus and Millichaps. Okay, these guys are out there. They're always selling retail properties, and you're always having to pay retail. Folks, if you're looking to be in this business, you are not going to make your fortune on buying retail properties. You've got to find the deals. You got to negotiate well. You got to find those properties that nobody else is looking at. And I got to tell you, when you start looking at these types of properties like Vogel brokers, I'm pouring myself a glass of water because I know I'm going to be talking a lot during this conversation, and I'm going to be sipping quite a bit to keep my lips parched or unparched. So what I want you to do is go find these types of brokers out there, the people that fly below the radar, the ones that don't show up on LoopNet, the brokers who, you know, deal in these smaller type of properties. Look at this guy, Walled Vogel Commercial Properties in Roanoke, Virginia. All right, geez, I wonder what deals this guy works with on a regular basis. Okay, first step. All right, next. Clay and Jason. Look at Jason with CCIM. If any of you have listened to any of my recordings, listened to all my talks, you know how I feel about CCIMs. They are very, very well-trained, good people to do business with. So this guy probably knows what he's talking about. Here's a confidential disclaimer. That's a broker's get out of free jail card. Now let's look at the executive summary. They're asking 7 1/4. All right. They got 14 units, 6 1-bedroom, 4 2-bedroom, and 4 studios. Well, boy, there's 4 2-bedroom, and everything else is essentially a 1-bedroom, 10 1-bedroom. That's not the best makeup of a property you're looking for. And the reason for that is this. When you're dealing with 1-bedrooms and studios, those are essentially hotel rooms. Those people come and go. They're transient. Families do not stay in those situations. So it's a lot harder to maintain the occupancy in those types of properties than it is in more of the 2-bedroom style properties. So that's why when we look at properties, we want to see more 2 bedrooms than 1 bedroom. And this particular property flies in the face of that. Now they're showing the average per unit rent of $660. Let's keep that in mind. NOI of almost $58,700, and they're telling us what the cap rate is. Well, obviously, if the cap rate is, if they're showing us 58.7 for the NOI and the cap rate of 8.1, well, that obviously means we know what the purchase price is of the property. We don't even have to do much more calculation. We've got 2 of the 3 variables, and we just decide what the next one is. And I'm just going to, while I'm sitting here on the phone, I'm going to take my phone and use the calculator and just make sure that that is correct. So let's see, I'm going to take the 58,700 divided by 81. 724,000 is what the actual value of the property should be based upon the NOI and the cap rate, okay? And there they are, 725. That's what they're asking for. So they're right on the money. The question then becomes, remember what I always say, the biggest lie in multifamily is the asking price, all right? So forget the asking price. The cap rate is something that we need to determine by the market. The broker here is telling us it's 8.1. Broker is a CCIM. This guy knows how the game is played. Let's assume for the record here that the cap rate is correct at 8.1. Well, if we're going to get the price any lower, we've got to justify a lower NOI. So we've got to go back and make sure when we go through our analysis of our calculation that the NOI isn't really 58,700. It's actually lower because the broker or the seller did not calculate something correctly. That's how you get the property lower. The broker is giving you the 8.1. Let's use that as a constant. Everything else becomes a variable. New architectural shingle roof, landlord pays the gas, the water and sewer, and the electric. That is not what I wanted to see. That means that the broker, tenants, it's an all bills paid property. That's a tough property to own, especially when gas prices go up, when electricity prices go up. You can't go up fast enough on the rent to maintain, to keep pace with those other charges. So I'm telling you folks, that's a downside to this property right there. There's our second sip. Okay, next. This tells, elegant brick apartment building located in Roanoke's historic old Southwest neighborhood, built in 1920. Okay, fine. Amenities include hardwood floors throughout coin-operated laundry facilities. Okay, so if you see coin-operated laundry facilities, that means there should be a line in the income talking about laundry income. A brand new architectural roof was installed less than a year ago. All utilities are currently paid by the landlord with gas, radiator, heat, and window AC units. Oy. Oy. Okay, so what that means is the reason why the landlord's paying for everything, because none of the units are separately metered. There's a boiler in the basement that generates the gas, radiator, heat, and he can't separate the costs per individual unit. So that's why it's an all bills paid on the heat. Now, as far as the cooling, window AC units, that's ugly, it's dangerous, it's expensive, and that's what you're buying. All right, fine. The current owner has significantly improved the tenant base and increased rents to an average monthly per unit rent of $660. Oh, geez, I talk to my clients in Roanoke and ask them if $660 is a good price for 1 bedroom out in that historical Southwest. Okay, so let's see, what else do we have going on here? Okay, all that nice stuff, property photos, okay. Look at these dishes on the back wall. Oh, that looks so terrible. I hate that. Hate that. Put that right in the lease. You are not allowed to put satellite dishes on the building. That is just nothing but bad for the building. Oh, I hate that. Okay, nice. There we go. There your laundry. You got 4 units, four rental units. Okay, kitchens need to be updated. Nothing special at these. This is why we're talking $660. Wow, very small apartments. There's more of the outside. Or the same as they show the same pictures twice. It looks like they did a little bit of upgrade here in the bathroom. They put a new sink in there. Yeah, man, these are nothing to write home about. Okay, so now we've got the information here about the property. 725. Let's go 660 for the income. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Let's jump on over here to the cash flow analyzer. Okay, and this guy wants $725,000 for the property. Fine, we'll put 725 in there. Now remember, he said the cap rate was 8.1, so we put that in there. All right, 25% down, 5% interest, 30-year amortization. It's probably going to be more like a 25-year amortization. So let's put a 30 in there. Okay, that's it for the first page. Now we're going to jump on over here to the income. Now, for this sake, we're just going to put in 14 units. All they gave us was a $660 as the monthly rent, right? And that's what we got for the monthly rent. And let's keep the 10% vacancy in there. 14, is that right? Let's make sure that that's right. I want to make sure that I'm doing this correctly. We've got 14 units at 660. Yeah, that's what they told us. 14,660. Okay, good. 10%. Now let's jump on over here to the expenses. This is where it's going to get fun. Let's see what they gave us for the expenses. Okay. There's the income. Now the taxes. They say the taxes are $6,050. So down here in taxes, we have 6050. Then they showed us the insurance of $2,500. Insurance up here of $2,500. It's $178 per unit per year. That's kind of low. I'm not buying that number all that well. Property insurance. Okay, offsite management. They're doing 8%. So let's jump on over here to 8%. And then we go back over here. Next number is R&M, repairs and maintenance, 10,800. Okay, so we're going to throw this all under right here, 10,800. And that is $771 per unit. All right, that sounds about right. Might be a little low because remember it's a 1920s property. Okay, now the utilities. Here we go. 8,500, 300, and okay. So if we add these all together, that's 11,000, 12,160. I'm just going to dump all these numbers together under utilities and say 12,160. That's not what I wanted. All right. And that's it. Lawn, 900, pest control, 1,200. So we'll go back here, lawn, landscaping, 900. Pest control, 1,200. And that's it. That's all they're giving us for expenses. Now let's go back and fix our expenses. All right, accounting, advertising. Do we do much advertising? Yeah, we're going to do 100. We're going to do 10%, $25 times 14. So we're going to do about $400 for that. Cleaning, commissions, legal. You're always going to have legal. As a lawyer, you're always going to have legal. Offsite management, right? You got 14 units. You got 14 units here. And, that's just not going to require that much on-site management, and the payroll shouldn't be there as well. It's really the contract services. Okay, let's see. So contract services, if we said, let's say if we said 200 times 2,800, that's what the contract services to be. We've got the taxes in there. We've got the gas in there. Okay, we're looking at about an expense ratio of 47%. That's too low. That number is too low, and let me explain why. If we remember let's go back for a second here to what this guy had down under the executive summary. He said his NOI was 58,000, right? 58,000. What's ours coming in at? If we jump on over here to the cash flow analyzer, 58, our NOI is 52. 58, 52. I still think the 52 is too low, and the reason because it's showing up as being a 28%, 47% expense ratio on a property that is built in the 1920s and that has the tenants are paying the landlord is paying all the utilities. In that case, you're looking more at 60%. Okay, but it's a smaller property. There's not much going on. It's an easy to maintain property. I'm going to keep the expense ratio right here, but it could get worse. And if we get this property to contract, then what we might try to do is go back and really dig down deep and make sure that this expense ratio is correct. Otherwise, this property might actually be trading at, at a 48% expense ratio, 47% expense ratio, because that's what it is. But we don't know that yet. All right. So let's go back over here to the input data section. We now have calculated out the NOI, and after calculating out the NOI, we now know that the property is at an 8.10 cap. It's actually only worth $653,000. So let's go back up here to the contract price. It's 650. 1, 2, 3. Boom. That's what we're going to offer in this property, 650, because that's what it's worth. Now we jump on over to the cash flow analyzer and we look down to see how we did. At $650,000, it's a 1.53 cap, and it's 11% cash and cash return. What do you think? You want to make an offer at those prices? I would say yes. Well, Charlie, they're asking $725,000. Yeah. Did you hear me say earlier on the biggest lie in multifamily is the asking price? So I don't care what they're asking. It's what I'm going to offer. I'm going to offer $650,000. That's what I think it's worth. Let's do it. So let's make an offer on this property. Jumping over here to the oh, where are you? Good. Okay, so what we're going to say, we're going to put in the address. You're going to be working from a template. One of my templates that I sold on all my students. They all have access to my templates. 26. And then, then we get the broker on there. John Smith, broker. ABC Brokerage House. All right, 123 Main Street, Nashville, New Hampshire. We don't want the phone number there. That shouldn't be up there. All right, letter of intent to purchase of, what we call this property, 370 Elm Street in Roanoke. 378 Elm Street. 378 Elm Street. Format, 378 Elm Street, Roanoke, VA, whatever that zip code is, you stick it in there. Dear John, in terms of me, we'll be willing to with ABC, broker, commercial, and a purchaser. Okay, purchase price is going to be $650,000. Okay, the earnest money is going to be 1% of that, or $6,500. All right, and then seller contribution. That's if we ask for one. We haven't even spoken about a seller contribution. So we're going to put in here the first mortgage. And we know the first mortgage is going to be 25%. Actually, let me just jump on back over here. I'm not going to try to calculate it out. I'm actually going to let them do it for me. In the income, in the input data section, 487,500. 487,500. Okay, 487,500. Oh, come on, Dobbins. And there we go. So my cash balance becomes all of these numbers. That means I got to show up at the closing table with, let's see here, clear that out, 650, 123 minus 6,500 minus 487,500 equals 156,000. I got to show up at the closing table with $156,000. Got it? Got it? There we go. Okay, mutual agreement within 15 days, earnest money of, let me see, what do we say, 6,500. So there's $6,500. See what I'm doing here, guys? This is so easy. Seller contribution, we took it out, so we're taking it out here. Renumbered my numbers automatically. 30 days for the inspection date. 60 days for financing. Closing date will be 9 days after the effective. Boom. I'm done. I'm done. Time. What's the time on this? How long has this call been going on? 22 minutes. 22 minutes. I wrote an offer. Get it out the door. Let it rip. Don't say your company here. Don't say your company here. And whatever you do, don't title it like this, like some gurus give to their people. You can't look like more of a jamoke by doing that, okay? I don't even know what a jamoke is. I hope I didn't offend anybody, but I can't offend anybody if I didn't intend to offend anybody. I just used a word that we didn't understand. Okay, so everything else is fine. That's it. Send it. Let it rip. You guys just made an offer. 22 minutes. Let's see how we do. It doesn't matter. You throw enough of this stuff up against the wall, sooner or later something's going to stick. This isn't a bad property to get started with. You know, think about it. $150,000 that you need to go out and raise. You can do that with 3 people very easily. And then you're off to the races. You now own 14 units. And at this pace you're going now, in 6 years, if you double everything that you own and you don't sell anything, you will own 1,000 apartment units in 5 years. People are like, what? How do you figure that? Okay, write this down. Let me explain this to you, and then we're going to end this call, because it doesn't need to take more than 25 minutes. If you start today with 20 units, and every year you double what you own and you don't sell anything, in 5 years you will own 1,000 apartment units. In the first year you buy 20. In the second year you buy 40 and you now own 60. In the third year you buy 120 and you now own 180 because you didn't sell the 60. In the fourth year you buy 360 and now you own 360, 540 apartment units in 4 years because you doubled everything that you owned and you didn't sell anything. And so when you own 540 and you follow that formula, the next year, the 5th year, you will own over 1,000 apartment units. Now you might think to yourself, oh my gosh, John, how is it possible? I can't own 500 in a year. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. When you build this business the right way, you will own 1,000 apartment units in 5 years, and you will make me and my other students look like pikers, and you will be the one teaching us all how to do it. Not that I need to be taught. I know exactly how to do this, but that's what I want to see happen to you. All right, everybody. So thank you so much for your time, and we will be back live. I'll post these things to the internet, and so we can all use this stuff. So, all right, love ya. Talk to you later. Bye.